Hello everyone! Today we're taking a look at Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, now available on the 3DS. If you haven't heard of this, it is a game that has been made very much in the spirit of Link to the Past, to the extent that it is actually a direct sequel, with much of the gameplay being drawn from Link to the Past, the game world, the enemies, music, sound effects, pretty much everything coming from Link to the Past. Of course, it's all polygonal, no sprite graphics in this one. Whether or not that's good or bad, I suppose is up to you to decide. Link to the Past really did have top-notch sprite-based graphics, which hold up very well even today. So this game had a lot to live up to when you're talking about visuals. And of course, not only that, but gameplay as well. Link to the Past, really, in my opinion, holding up a lot better in pretty much every respect than most any game of that era. However, even though the game is heavily based on Link to the Past, it is also different in many ways. It is its own game. It is not a remake of Link to the Past, even though it has taken so many assets from it. It is a different story. The intro story here telling of the final battle in Link to the Past. As you might notice, Blue Fat Ganon is in effect in this game. It's not Ganondorf the evil wizard, no. However, as it says here, following Link to the Past, the Triforce was actually split back into three, even though at the end of Link to the Past did seem to indicate that they were reunited into one. Alright, that's the intro, the backstory, which you already knew. You already knew the backstory of Link Between Worlds because you've probably played A Link to the Past. It's very likely that you have. I'm still midway through the game. I've gotten to the point where I've entered the Dark World, and I've beaten a couple of dungeons so far. But let's start from the beginning and just see how it all starts. No, we'll have to rename that. That won't do. Let's see. Like I said, I really greatly enjoyed Link to the Past, and when I think about 16-bit games, that really is one of my favorites from the era, more so than pretty much most anything. So I was really looking forward to A Link Between Worlds. Aw, thanks. Everyone's so friendly around here, even when they're yelling at you to get out of bed. Well, this is Link's friend, Gully. He worked for the blacksmith. You might remember that there were blacksmith brothers in Link to the Past. Well, in this game, Link works for a blacksmith. And it looks like that we better get on out, because we're late. We're an apprentice. We're learning to be a blacksmith, and we're never going to do this if we just keep sleeping all day. Oh, Link just can't wake up on time. He's so lazy. You might remember in Link to the Past, there was a weather vane in the village that we used to wake up the bird that allowed us to fast travel. In Link Between Worlds, there are many weather vanes. We actually use these for save points, as well as the points that mark where we can fast travel to when we get the ability to fast travel. Right. So as we find new weather vanes, they do get added to the map. Might as well save, why not? Alright, so now that we've done that, well, in the first game, in Link to the Past, the first thing we did was we headed up towards the... The first thing we did was we headed up towards the castle in the rain, but Gully is not having any of it. He is telling no, you cannot go up there yet. We have to get to the blacksmiths. Well, Link has not yet started his adventure, so I suppose it's okay that we get led by the hand right now. See, if we went to the right, we'd end up at Hyrule Castle. But Gully's not going to let us do this. Gully's pretty single-minded. His father told him to wake us up, get us to work. He's going to do that. Again, thanks. I don't know why everyone's so affectionate here. Well, at least you're here for me, Gully. I don't know why, I kind of like that little touch. Well, let's head inside and face the music. Putting it off will not make it any better. Sure thing, Captain. I love you too. Even the captain knows that we're a layabout. We sleep all day. It's kind of embarrassing, honestly. Ruh! Oh dear, how absent-minded. He took his shield, but I guess he was so impressed with it he forgot all about this sword. Right, we got the captain's sword. It's not ours, it's the captain's. So we're not going to use it or anything, it's just to deliver it to him. Well, maybe we can get back in the blacksmith's good books if we can do this errand real fast and do it well. Blacksmith's wife is offering to make us breakfast. We seem to be a little kid, but it seems that we live on our own in our house. Link to the Past started, of course, with Link's uncle, but we don't seem to have an uncle in Link Between Worlds. I don't know if Link just lives on his own. Of course, we know that Link generally has questionable parentage. We don't really know where he comes from, usually. But in this case, He doesn't seem to have anyone looking after him at all, really, at his house. Well, maybe the blacksmith and his wife are like some sort of a adoptive family. Anyway, let's go off. Now we can go to Hyrule Castle. No one's stopping us now. Ah, shucks, thanks. Well, Hyrule seems like it's having some pretty good days if the worst they have to deal with is some graffiti. Alright, but what oh, here's some graffiti right here. What happens if we go up here? Of course, Link to the Past, this is where we went first of all, to get to the hidden entrance to the castle, but here, there's a piece of heart. Can't get to it right now, it's surrounded by stones which are just far too heavy for Link to lift up. Don't ask him to do it. So I guess these were put up overnight. Of course, we're going to keep that to ourselves. We're not going to say that in front of the soldiers. Right now, by the way, I can't really do anything aside from pick up bushes. I can't use the sword. I really don't have any items or gear that I can use. Right now, we're just a delivery boy, and we're heading to the sanctuary. In Link to the Past, the sanctuary was where we went after getting Zelda out of the castle. And here we are. But of course, now we're here under much friendlier circumstances. I know. I guess he doesn't have to use his sword very much these days. Again, if the biggest thing they have to deal with is graffiti. And it's not like we met any monsters or anything on the way, so perhaps it's pretty nice right now in Hyrule. And here's Dampé, the Gravekeeper. What do you know about that, Dampé? Oh! Before Dampé can tell us anything about the graffiti on the walls. But wait, we're just a delivery boy. We can't do anything like that. Maybe. Well, Dampé really is a bigger, stronger person. I think maybe he should do it. Alright, I guess, if I have to. It is an extraordinary circumstance. Alright, we're gonna go off and see if we can find that secret entrance, and monsters suddenly appear. You might remember that these guys could electrocute us in Link to the Past. They don't seem to be doing anything right now. Later on, we'll find some electrical variations, though. Which one of these graves could have a secret passage under it, I wonder. That's no good, it's just a skeleton. And Poe! Kill those Poes. There's someone hiding money in these graves, I don't know why. Oddly enough, this was the right one. In Link to the Past, the secret passage linked Hyrule Castle and the Sanctuary. In this case, the secret passage just seems to be a way out of the Sanctuary through the graveyard. Just in case, I guess, there was trouble. Which there is right now. Alright, let's equip that lantern. We have 2 item slots that we can use, equipping to the X and the Y button. Some of the items have passive effects, like the lantern right now, but we can also use an active effect. Light that up right there. Puzzling. I wonder what that might mean. Gasp! That's what that means. Oh, a piece of heart up there, but we really don't have any means of getting up there. Maybe we'll be able to do it later. In the meantime, Link will just murder these rats that he's finding in the sewer. I mean, Link's pretty proficient with the sword already. I think maybe he's been sneaking some lessons with someone. So like I said, all of the assets in the game based on Link to the Past, such as the music, such as the dungeon we're in right now, it's all very reminiscent. But everything's kind of remixed. And of course all polygonal. The polygonal graphics look good, but whether or not you consider them better than the sprite-based graphics of Link to the Past, I think is going to be entirely preference. I do like how speedy Link is in this game. Like, look at how fast I can slash this sword. He's a machine with that sword. 2 switches on either side. Which one might be the right one? Oh no, ropes. Remember that from Link to the Past. Pull the wrong switch and monsters fall down from the ceiling. Alright, we made it. Now what's happening in here? Yes, things suddenly went very poorly for us. It seemed like everything was going so well today. Aside from sleeping late and getting in late and being yelled at. Aside from that, everything was going so well. But now a villain has emerged, Yuga, who apparently is seeking perfection and has changed Ceres into a painting. And as we attacked Yuga merged with the wall. We kind of just ran headfirst into the brick wall. As we wake up in this house, we find a very strange person. Someone who's introduced himself as Ravio. But what's he doing in our house? Well, I mean, come on, we just met him a few minutes ago. We're not gonna let him stay in our house on his own. I mean, it's asking a big favor to stay in someone's house. We don't know who he is. He's wearing a mask. We don't even know what he looks like under that. Maybe he might be some sort of criminal who's trying to fool us. Maybe he's Yuga. You know? Ever think of that? Well, I guess we have no choice, because if we didn't, then one of the core game functions would not be possible. You see, as Ravio stays in our house, he will set up shop, and we will be able to rent items from him that we need to beat the dungeons. Which, if he didn't do that, we wouldn't be able to get through these dungeons. And in exchange, he gives us a Millennium item. Alright. So we're letting Ravio stay in our house. He gave us a bracelet that apparently smells like a wet dog. He says it's old, he says it's an antique, it's a relic, so we'll wear it. Just to make him happy, I suppose. Oh, and, hey, Majora. He does seem very eager for us to leave the house, though, doesn't he? Alright. Gotta get to the castle. Oh, hold on. Maybe we should save, since we've made some progress. Alright, now let's head out to the castle. Let him know what's happening. It is kind of a weird story. But hey, I mean, they're gonna find out eventually. The captain of the guard has been turned into a painting somehow. So if nothing else, they're gonna wonder when he doesn't come back what's going on. Alright. Oh, very strict in their training regimen. Yeah, this is a pretty good sword. Oh, sorry about that. This guy is way into his training. Yeah, I mean, it's a very quiet kingdom. Nothing could possibly go wrong. There's no foreboding of evil happening anytime soon, I imagine. It is kind of true. Maybe we should have brought a credible witness with us. Like, for example, the priest in the sanctuary. He would have a lot more pull, I think, with the royal family. Well, at least Impa's willing to give us a chance, even though she doesn't seem entirely like she entirely believes us herself. She feels that maybe there might be something to it. While Impa asks the princess to have an audience with us, we can take a look around at their gallery. Mm-hmm. Right. It's basically the storyline told in the intro to Link to the Past, which was sort of reenacted in Ocarina of Time. Right, and here we have with Link to the Past. It's funny how much Ganon's design has changed over the years. I never really thought about it until we got back to Fat Blue Pig Ganon in this game. Right, so instead of the Triforce being merged, they decided to go with the usual Zelda thing of it being split into 3 pieces and Ganon having the Triforce of Power. Zelda, Triforce of Wisdom, and of course the one of Courage is with someone in the land. When a hero is needed, it'll come up. Whoever that hero might be. Probably no one we know. Well, we just met. I mean, technically we all love the princess, right? Sahasrara, which I guess is how you pronounce that, was the elder that Link consulted with in Link to the Past, and he is once again in this game. I assume it must be an a descendant of the one in Link to the Past. I assume it's not the original Sahasrara. I don't think he could have lived that long. But who knows? They don't say for certain. Yeah, I mean, we just met. Obviously, this child should get the treasure that's been kept safe for generations. I can't think of a reason why this would not be the case. The cutscenes and dialogue, I suppose, are more abrupt than they've been in previous Zelda games. I don't think that's a bad thing. I suppose it's because they're trying to make the game fast-moving and kind of snappy, like Link to the Past was. Which I like. I mean, the game does move along at a very good clip, at a very good pace. I sure did. Well, it's not a very large country, honestly, if you look at that map. And really, there's not many people. You have the town on one side, and some people scattered about, but maybe we'll come back later. Who can say? Sometimes dinner is really the only thing that gets you through the day, thinking about what it's going to be like when you get home. Well, maybe don't let her hear you say that. I like how Impa went from Royal Nursemaid to Royal Ninja, and then back to Nursemaid. I'm sorry. Alright, let's head on out. Let's get to Kakariko Village. Talk to Sasrala and see what he has to say. See if he knows anything about what's going on here. Well, actually, before we do that, we might want to check in with the blacksmith, right? Because we were supposed to deliver that sword. I would imagine they want to know what's going on. Because things really did not go the way we imagined they were going to go. Oh, hey, it's Gully, and instead of a ghost child. Oh, Gully, you're not long for this world, are you? Right, so it's the same area as in Link to the Past, except the child is someone we know now, and not a ghost child playing a flute. Yep, I saw him. He's hanging out with his animal friends. Yep, that's true. I did. He feels that he's just gonna make good old friends with the monsters, so I don't know, you might want to have a talk with him. Well, about that. Yeah. I mean, they got turned into paintings, and now apparently I'm on some kind of important mission for the princess. Future of the land may be at stake, something like that. Alright, let's head to Kakariko and see what Sasrala says about all this mess. Yeah, this game has some Street Pass functionality where you can create a Street Pass character, other people can download it, and then fight it. We won't be doing that, but it's a thing that the game offers. Well, we could go in any of these houses, see what people are doing. Sure could, if only we knew some sick child who had a net we could borrow. But I don't doubt that's gonna happen around here. Alright. Nothing's going on in here, I guess, is what she's saying. All the action is outside. We really don't have much money at all. I don't think we have any that we can just gamble about like that. Maybe if we have more later on, maybe we can come back, but I don't think that we should be doing that right now. It's not responsible. Down here, we're on the south side of town, seedy side of town. Yeah, where the milk bars are. You know what I'm saying? It's the rough side. Where people don't want to be disturbed. Yeah, I think about that all the time. Well, it is Milk Plus, so... sure, why not? Maybe later. It's a bit early in the day for that. We've heard this tune before, I think. Let's head on out. We really do have important business to get to. We can't hang around drinking milk all day. That's awful. Alright, well, you probably were wondering, so let's just get this out of the way. Yep, there we go. Eventually, the cuckoos just have enough, and you are attacked from all sides by poultry. Unfortunately, no, we cannot take it out of the pen. Let's see what else has happened in Kakariko. We're on the west side of town, which is where the marketplace is. That's a real steep price for a bottle. Maybe glass is not too common in Hyrule. Well, that sounds pretty suspicious, shady guy. I don't think we were accusing him of anything. Alright, well, a shield. How much does that go for? If we didn't buy that song, we'd have enough for a shield. But that's okay, we don't really need it right now. But we really should get to go into Sahasrahla. Might as well activate this while we're here. Yeah, that's the one I was waiting for. This is a message you'll see many times playing this game. It's the Nintendo thing. Of letting you know, hey, you've been playing for a little while. Maybe, go do something else. Maybe don't be such a worthless slump playing video games all day, Ever think of that, maybe? Like, the little Nintendo reminder. Alright, we found the Elder. Oh, thanks. I mean, have we ever spoken before? I'm not sure. There's this guy who's going around turning people into paintings, Elder. Yeah. I don't know why she believed me. Seems like you believe me as well. Tell me all about it. Alright, we have to head off very quickly. He's telling us to go to the Eastern Palace, which is where his disciple Asfala is. And I think it seems that he believes that Asfala is maybe a bit more capable of handling things than we are. Asfala being a descendant of the Seven Sages, he's also worried that Yuga might be going after him. So we probably should head over there as fast as we can. Let him know what's going on. So at the very least, he's not taken off guard. Oh? Yeah, there's just a witch flying around. Why wouldn't there be? There's the electrified version. So let's try not to touch that one. Here we are. And as you can see, the map is pretty much exactly the same as the Link to the Past map. Unlike most versions of Zelda in which the world map is very different from game to game, despite all taking place in Hyrule, this makes it very clear, yeah, this is the exact same place that Link to the Past took place in. We can't really do anything here. These orbs, and symbols that look like a bow and arrow, but we can't really do anything else. Ravio put up a sign saying that he's going to sell some items. Visit him south of the castle. Well, that's our house. We're really okay with him advertising his shop out of our house? I mean, if he's staying there just for a little bit, I guess that's fine, but we really didn't give him the go-ahead to just open up business there. Yeah, nothing we can really do here either. I suppose if we can't actually enter the Eastern Palace, we should probably, if nothing else, go back to our house, see what Ravio's up to. Because I don't really like the sound of that, I have to say. Fortunately, our house is not too far away. just down here and to the west. So, you saw you putting up signs saying people should be coming by to look at your wares? I don't remember you asking us if you could do that. There were a lot of monsters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a bow and arrow. Well, I mean, it's the least you could do. You are staying in our house. Right, so this is the rental system. He gives us items, we hold on to him. If we die, his bird will come back to take the items from us. That may not seem like anything right now, but eventually he'll start charging us money for items. If we want to pay a lot of money, we can just flat out buy the items. But it's really cheaper just to rent. And you might have noticed that explanation right there that mentioned that everything we do with these items is tied to our magic meter. So you can see my magic meter's going down as I shoot these arrows, but it regenerates. So the fuel for our items, such as arrows, and magical items such as the ice rod and fire rod, is all replenishable, because it all comes from this replenishing magic meter. Alright, so we see these icons. You can probably guess what we need to do. Alright, let's head in and see if we can find this Asfala. So he does need to be warned. Can't really see what's in there. There's a barred window, so I guess there's nothing we can do here right now. No bombs. We will get them later. We will also rent them from Ravio. Nothing we can do right now. We could see the pegs that we need the hammer to slam down, like in Link to the Past, but we don't have that either right now. Ah, and look who we found. That's what people tell us. And once again, we tell the story of someone turning people into paintings, which everyone seems to believe for some reason. That attitude's just gonna lead you to trouble, Asfala. Yuga seemed pretty serious. I mean, he could turn people into paintings, and have you ever even seen someone who was able to do that before? Alright, let's head on in after him, see what's going on. And as we do, we enter our first dungeon, the Eastern Palace. Like many Zelda games, the first dungeon acts as sort of a tutorial dungeon. Not anything very difficult, but just gives us the basics of what we need to do. Now, a difference between this game and previous Zelda games is that the items that we need to complete the dungeons are not found in the dungeons. Rather, we'll get them from Ravio. The key is renting the right items from him when we go into these dungeons. It's not really a problem figuring out what we need, because so far, I've only really needed one item per level. So in this case, this dungeon, the item of choice is the bow and arrow, and it's the only one we can get at this point, so it's not like that's difficult to figure... Oh, that was a sneaky trap. It's not like that's difficult to figure out at this point. However, later on, we'll have access to many items. But it's still not very difficult to figure out what item you need for that dungeon. For example, I just finished a fire dungeon, and the item I needed for that one was the ice rod, so it's not like that was a difficult thing to figure out. I have not gotten to any dungeons so far that require more than one item to be essential for the completion of the dungeon. And so far, the game has been laid out in the same way Link to the Past has been. Link to the Past was, I should say. It was, you have the 3 dungeons in the light world, where you get pendants. Then after that, you go to the castle. Then after that, you go to the dark world, where there are 8 dungeons. That's where I'm at right now. I've beaten a couple dungeons there. And if we remember how Link to the Past went, after you completed... Whoops. No, that's not the right way. Okay, there are actually 2 orbs we have to hit right here. On different levels. So even though I know that there are 8 dungeons in the Dark World, I don't know if the end game is going to be like Link to the Past. Or if there'll be anything extra after those dungeons that breaks the format. That's yet to be known for me. A teleporter has appeared. Well, it'll bring us back to the beginning of the dungeon. This is sort of a checkpoint when you're around halfway through the dungeon. Around that. So if we die, and if we go back to the beginning of the dungeon, we'll be able to teleport right back here. Actually, I don't have a shield. This would be a place where that would be good. Didn't think about that. We open up a treasure chest to find it full of monster guts. That sounds disgusting. But we'll have a need for... we can use that for crafting purposes. We'll find a witch that will require ingredients to make some potions, and one of the ingredients for the purple potion, I believe it is monster guts. We have some more orbs here, but they're on another level than us. They're higher up, so I can't hit those with the bow and arrow right now. The big monster door, but can't get to that. I noticed that the height of things in this game seems to matter more than in Link to the Past. I guess that has to do with the whole 3D aspect of the game. I don't play it in 3D because I'm not really a fan of just the 3D effect in general. I don't have a key for that. I find it completely playable despite that, though. See, I've only been able to... Oh, hold on. No, I can't hit that from there. Oh, no, I can. Okay. Okay. So you can see that... this level is very much... Oh, I'm doing poorly here. This level is based very much on... Oops, using the... Let's see if I can find a heart. Alright, good, there we go. Is based very much on using the bow and arrow to shoot targets. Don't think that the entire game's like that. That's just sort of the point of this early level. Alright, let's head back to that locked door. Can I shoot one from here? No, it doesn't seem so. Stalfos have appeared. I don't think we're very afraid of that. They work the same ways in Link to the Past. They jump backwards when we try to hit them. Alright, we've gotten the big key. That was pretty fast. Some of the dungeons have seemed a little short, but as I've gotten to the Dark World, it has taken me longer to get past some of them. So again, don't take what you're seeing here as an indication of what all of the dungeons are like. Oh. Looks like Asfala was overly confident after all. Alright, it's time to go up against Yuga, and guess what? We're using the arrow. Because he will warp away as we try to get close to him, so... we'll use the bow and arrow to stun him, then get up close for shots with the sword. But eventually, Yuga's had enough. And we'll just kind of keep doing the same thing, I guess. Alright, he has a pretty big attack if we actually let him do it. And even though Yuga decided to use his painting magic on us, it turns out that Ravio's bracelet was able to resist the magic. And in fact has absorbed the magic, because now... Hold on. Because now we can do this. We can become painting and not painting at will, and use that to go through slots like that. How mysterious. Why would Ravio have something like that? That's a good thing he did in any case. But now we see that one of the main gimmicks of the game is being able to do this. We will be doing this to solve a great deal of puzzles throughout the game. Some things can block us like that. But yeah, that's one of the new game mechanics, which a lot of the game kind of is based around, on being able to merge into the walls and gain extra mobility, being able to do that. Let's see if we can... Whoops, hold on. See, I was able to save myself doing that. But I think we've gone around an hour, so that's probably enough of The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds for the 3DS, based on A Link to the Past. But like I said, it is very much also its own game, and I'm enjoying it very much. I would recommend it, because I'm having a lot of fun playing it. So, we've gone through about an hour of the game, we've completed the first dungeon, and we've gotten the main power, the main gameplay mechanic of the game, and gotten a good idea of what the plot's about, what the game is all about. So I think that this is a good place to stop, as Sahasrara greets us outside the Eastern Palace and learns of Asphala's fate, that he's been turned into a painting. Like I said, it's The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds, now available on the 3DS, both in physical form and on the eShop. This is the physical card that I'm playing from here, but you can also buy it on the eShop. I like it a lot, I recommend it. Are we too late? I guess you'll have to decide for yourself with Legend of Zelda on the 3DS. It's a good game, I like it. You should play it. If you have a 3DS, I wholly suggest you should play it. I like it.